what's going on, guys? Welcome back to AriesEDC. Boy, do I have a beast for you guys today. This is the Tennable Bombur, a mid-guard messer design, which kind of explains everything you need to know right there. What a beast. Really stinking cool. So I got a couple of Tennables in, which you guys would probably be seeing all of the videos coming out for. And this is the Bombur. I think I'm saying that right. I don't know how you would say that, but Bombur, but the O has the little dots above it. So I'm just assuming that's how you say it. And again, mid-guard messer design, so you know you're getting a big beast of a blade, which is exactly what this one is. So this is the G10 frag pattern Bombur with a giant chunk of D2 steel, which we are going to be talking about. So you got the frag pattern G10. This is like the coyote brown, or just brown. Very nicely done. You have the spot for a lanyard hole, which I don't know why you would need to put a lanyard on that sucker, but I guess if you like lanyards, then that's your thing. Very unique shaped up here. As you saw on the unboxing, like, we're so used to front flippers that you look at that and you'd be like, oh, can I front flip that? And the answer is no, and you should not be front flipping that. Just my opinion. Interesting clip. So I like to see something a little bit different. It is going to be a very pronounced clip. So the top of that hole is right here. So that means you're going to have all of that sticking out of your pocket. So you can definitely have plenty to grab a hold of when you're pulling it out of your pocket, but it's done well and is very strong. So it's not going to be flying out of your pocket either. And I believe, just based on looking at the holes here and then the holes here, it is reversible. So you are able to reverse that clip just based on the hole spacing and what that is, which is cool. It is going to be a liner lock, and the blade has these nice fullers on both sides and the opening hole, which make it excellent for you to manipulate the blade out. And you have that nice drop point blade and that nice belly. So it's a fairly straightforward blade shape. It's a nice tall shaped blade, which you'll see here in a minute. And they have done that very well. The fullers are very deep, and it takes a lot of weight out of that blade because you need it, because this is almost a 3/16 or a little bit over 3/16 thickness on the blade stock. So that blade stock is 3/16, which follows along all the way along that backspacer, which I'm just going to assume is a steel backspacer. Or maybe it's aluminum. It doesn't say on the website what it is. Actually, you know what I could do? I could take a magnet and see. Well, it's sticking to the liner. So it's sticking to the liners, but not that middle material. So maybe that backspacer is aluminum, which would be cool. Again, liner lock. Again, you got plenty of access. You can use the hole to be able to manipulate the blade out. And it is very smooth. But man, that is a giant chunk of D2. That is for sure. They did the jimping here up on the spine, and you have that nice small jimping, which is the kind of jimping that I actually really like. I like that kind of jimping. It gives you plenty of grip without being too abrasive on your fingers. And with this frag pattern on the scales, man, you have so much grip on this thing. It is not going anywhere. Whether you're wearing gloves or whatever it happens to be, man, this thing is not going anywhere. You have that nice black washed finish on the blade, which Tennable has been doing very well. Nice little swedge up there, and all around just a really, really stinking cool blade. But man, I gotta tell you, it is a beast. The weight on this alone is pretty stinking heavy. Let me see, what do they have it listed as? They have it at 7.55 ounces. So yeah, it's 7.5, little over 7.5 ounces for a blade. The price is $69 on Tennable's website, basically $68.89 So it's $69, which is not bad. G10 frag pattern, nice big chunk of D2, just a workhorse. I could just tell this being just somebody's really workhorse to really get in there and do any of those cuts that you need. You have a nice thick blade stock that is a flat grind that comes down to a nice edge. Nice belly, nice puncturing tip to do all of that hard use work that this thing probably was designed to do. So let's look at the size of this. On the website, they have it listed the overall length at 8.38 inches. So over 3¼ inches or 8¼ inches. Absolutely. That is dead on to where I am getting. And the blade length is 3½ inches. I'm at, well, 3½ would be to the front of the scale. But the actual sharpened edge comes way past the front of that scale, and it's almost at 4. So you can see I'm at 4 inches right here at the back of the sharpening choil. And so they're measuring that 3½ I have 3½ here, which would be the front of the scale. But you're going past some of the sharpening edge to do that. So it is a little bit longer than actually what they have listed. So just keep that in mind. The size comparisons. This is just funny to me. I mean, I don't even know why I'm doing this at this point. But size comparisons, you have these little mini play toys versus the big thing. Sorry, I had to do that. And then this one should be pretty interesting, actually. How about that versus the pair of 2 or pair of 3? Even the scales are bigger in every way than this thing is, and this thing dwarfs it. So that's pretty stinking cool. Let's look at the blade thickness. So here's a blade thickness, and let's do the blade thickness versus this. This is my Demko 8020.5. So you can tell that this thing is just a chunk of D2 steel. That is absolute chunk of steel. So, but geez, what a beast of a knife. But it's smooth and it's crisp. It's easy to manipulate. You definitely get plenty of grip that you need on it. But wow, the Tennable Bombur. I don't know, guys. If you're looking for a hard use worker, this might be the one for you. So they do have other colors and on the website, but unfortunately, as I'm looking at it right now, this is actually sold out. So they might be available on other online retailers, but I'll probably put a link to at least this on their website in the description of this video. So thank you guys very much. I hope you appreciate this one. Please remember, subscribe, like, leave a comment, or not. That choice is always yours.